You have already know the topic, the head or the heart.
Good afternoon, honorary guests, judges, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dondeh Chut from Saitanya Rangsit School, Pathum Thani. Today, I would like to make a speech about what a great person would be. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think that the nature is odd? And in that oddness, it is also brilliant. Odd in a way that in one person, the nature gives us two opposing forces. The head that always pursues logic, and the heart that personifies love. These two forces, they usually fight. But when they fight, the result is something more beneficial. It benefits the person, and it benefits the society as a whole. Well, there has been a long debate for hundreds of years, asking if humanity should trust the head or the heart. But I would like to raise this debate to the next level. The question is, why do we have to choose between the head or the heart? Why can't we choose to use both of them? Because it's not like rolling a die. When we roll a die, you cannot expect a 2 and a 6 to come out simultaneously. It's impossible because it is mutually exclusive. Not in our case though. In our case, we have the head and the heart readily in our body. So why don't we decide to choose to use both of them? Ladies and gentlemen, don't you agree with me that the world today is becoming more and more difficult to live in? Not because we have to strive harder for more money, not because of technology we have to catch up. Yet, it is the very basic principle of living. That's it. Safetiness. The world is becoming more and more insecure, and that is because people tend to believe only their heads. They strive to become successful. However, they ignore their hearts, they ignore consciousness, and that is what we know as selfishness. Let me now introduce all of you to great people. These people are the ones who can use both their heads and their hearts at the right time, and they can find the perfect balance between trusting the two. When I talk about the head, I'm referring to something quite definite. Logic, of course. But when I talk about the heart, it has a broader sense. Consciousness, responsibility, morality, or something as even simple yet crucial as love and passion. The question remains though, only because a person can use both of his organs, the head and the heart, how does that make the person great in any sense? Think about this. There are 3 types of people living on this world. The first type has a lot of brain, but he is very, very cunningly smart. He doesn't have a heart. He can become successful, but he might not be that happy. The second type of people, he has a heart of gold, but he doesn't use his brain. So although he might be a happy person in the society, he is not successful. The third type of people, the most successful and the happiest people in the society, after all. He uses both of his head and his heart. He uses his head to think about how he can become successful, and his heart to govern how his head works, so that he is not selfish. In other words, he has a responsibility and he has morality to care for his society. Well, so I think right now it's safe to say, for us to come up with what we would like to do, that is using right here, our heads. But when we would like to govern how we do something, in other words, to govern how our ideas work, that is using right here, our consciousness in our heart. Talking about selfishness in the beginning of my speech, when I talk about selfishness, do you think people are born selfish? Do you? Do you? I don't think so. I don't think people are born selfish. Talking about the brain, you know, right, that the brain has 2 sides. The left side that governs scientific stuff, and the right side that governs how artistic you are. My point is, where is the part of the brain that tells you how to act selfish or how to act evil? Well, there is none. There's not a single part of brain that does that idea. So I like to say that it's the environment condition that tells us how to become selfish or how to act evil. It's not the brain. So I would like to ask all of us to use our heart, our consciousness and morality, responsibility to govern how we do something. And speaking in a broader sense, right, in the world community level, I believe that every single of us is unique. And because we have potentials, these potentials come because other people have given us the opportunity to practice ourselves and to excel our skills. I would like to urge all of us, including you, including me, including the rest of the world, to come together and join our hands, to mutually reinforce the development of our societies, to make the world a better place to live in. To push oneself forward, that is using our head, but to stay at the top, that is using our hearts. And that is exactly how great people would do. So what do you want to choose? The head or the heart? I choose both. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guruvade. I choose the hat. And that's Guruvade, Shrit from Saipanya Rangsit School,
Do you
Pacific.
have questions?
Yes, I think we do. From one of our judges. From Ajahn Pianat.
Okay, thank you, Kun Guruvade. You were talking about environmental conditions that will determine the way you use the head and the heart. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Yes, thank you for your question. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thinking about the world today is more competitive than ever before. We have to strive for money. We have to strive even when we are children. We have to strive to become a good student, to become successful in life. And that is the environmental condition. In the condition that we do not have anything easy, we have to think about ourselves. And that's how the head works. The head thinks about ourselves. However, when we get something, our moral integrity, our hearts, our consciousness should be responsible enough to think that when you take something from the society, you'll have to give it back. And that is how the environment tells you how to be selfish, how your brain works, and how you should use your mind to govern how your ideas work. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it for now. We'll give you some time to rest and listen to the other contestants. Pressure. Just take it with you. So, pressure off the chest for Guruvade. And next is Mr. Douglas Navin Kirk